Hi guys, Professor Roberto here with Professor Isai. We're just going to show you guys some techniques that you guys can do at home during this week while we're going through this online schedule. So give you guys some tools. This is a perfect time for parents and kids to train together and to help you learn some better techniques. Even if you don't train Jiu-Jitsu, it'll also help your understanding by helping your kids. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a self-defense situation where somebody has pushed me down. Right? So I'm here with Professor Isai. Now here's the situation. He's pushing me, maybe he's a bully, maybe I wasn't paying attention, and he pushes me and I'm about to fall. Whenever I feel I'm about to fall, I always have to squat really low. I tuck my chin and I go into my break fall there. Now, I gotta make sure that my legs are up. If he's somebody that's trying to hurt me and now I'm on the ground, I need to make sure I have my defensive measures in place. So I have my hands up and my legs up. If he's trying to go around me, I can place my foot on his leg and I bridge and I follow. So just by putting my feet on him and lifting my hip up, I'm able to follow, so I keep him in front of me. I don't want to lose track of him. Now, I want to get back up, but I cannot just stand up like this because I'm very exposed. He could hit me, he could kick me, he could just push me down. So first, I need to get him to back away. So a pretty simple technique that we're going to use here is just using pedal kicks, like I'm riding a bicycle. So I'm just going to push on his legs like this here. Yeah? They're going to want to back up. Especially if a person has their weight planted and you start kicking the knees, you can really hurt the person, so they will want to back up. Now, I'm going to sit up and I'm going to go into a technical stand-up. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put my hands on the ground and I'm going to scoot my hip back, just like this. So you can go either side here. All right? Most of the time for the kiddos, it's easier for them to use both hands on the ground and the opposite leg posted. Now I can scoot back if I need to create more distance. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my hip up and I begin to rotate as if I was going to go into a bear crawl position. But once I have my legs on the ground in a stable base, I'm going to stand up with my hands up in a fighting stance. So now look at the distance that's between myself and Professor Isai. And now I can assess the situation. Maybe I need to run. Maybe I need to call for help. Okay? Maybe I need to engage in the situation here, which is what we're going to go over next. Professor Isai was not happy that I stood up. He was a bully. He was trying to pick on me. I was on the ground. Now I stood up. Now he's not happy. So I can see that he's loading up there the big punch or maybe like a big smack to my face. But the good thing is I have the distance. So I can see what's coming. I see he's trying to hit me with that hand. So I'm in my safe stance. He comes with the punch. Look, I'm going to squat underneath. And now I close the distance. I get in tight here. Always making sure that my head goes to the outside of the punch. He was trying to hit me with that arm, so that's where my head is, to the outside. So he can't hit me with that other hand. Now I'm going to control the legs. 1, 2. So look how I grab right around the knee area. My back is straight and my shoulder is right on his belly, like shoulder plex area. Now, all I gotta do is I'm gonna drive forward and I'm gonna pull my arms backwards. We're gonna do what's called the spear double leg. All right? So I drive forward with my shoulder, pull back with my hand. I finish the takedown there. Look, controlling the legs, hip forward to make sure there's no kicks here, and I can control the situation. One more time. He pushes me. I squat really low. Break my fall. Make sure my legs are up. Follow him. Follow him. Now I'm going to kick him away. Make some space, sit up, 2 hands go to the ground, like I can scoot if I need to, lift, turn. Look, I want to come up to a good base. A big mistake is people get into a rush of putting their foot down. If I try to stand up like this, he's just going to knock me down. Lift, turn, foot goes on the ground, hands up fighting stance. Now he wasn't happy, he's coming with that big punch, squat under, step in, close the distance. Shoulder right there on his chest. Hands around the knees. Look how I drive my hands back as I drive my shoulder forward. Controlling the heels here. Hip forward, making sure he cannot stand up and get to me again. All right. So that was the self-defense situation for this week. Now we're going to go into the ground situation. What we're going to talk about this week is escaping the mount position. And today we're going to escape by recovering our guard. So instead of rolling the person over and doing a reversal, we're gonna put them back in between our legs. So our back is gonna still be on the ground. However, we're gonna be in a much better situation. So I have Professor Isai. He's got me mounted. All right, this is a bad spot for me. The first thing I need to do is I need to make sure that I keep him on my hips here. I don't want him to get the high mount on me like the Hulk position that we talk about. We want to keep him right there on my belt so that I can move him a lot with my bridge. Okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hands right here on the belt. And I need to make sure that I make him put his hands on the floor. What I want to do is I want to make him put as much weight as possible on his hands so that his hips become lighter. So as soon as my hands go here, I'm going to bring my feet in really close to my hips and I'm going to bridge as hard as I can. So once I bridge, I make him use his hands on the ground, his hips are lighter. And now I'm able to move my hip back and I bring my knees in front. Once my knees are on the inside, all I have to do is stretch my legs as I sit up. And now I open my guard and I lock my legs around his waist. Now, as always, I need to finish with my grips. So I'm going to get hand on the cross collar as deep as I can by his shoulder and his neck. And my other hand is just going to control his sleeve here. And this is where I'm going to finish. Let's do it from this position here. So he's got me mounted here. Look, I'm keeping my arms tight. I'm protecting my neck, keeping my arms in so he doesn't isolate my arms. And I'm keeping him on my hip. Okay? Now, big bridge. Make him put his weight on his hands. My hands go to his hip. The belt is always on the hip, so that's a good anchor there. Bring my knees in, stretch, and now I can bring my legs out, lock my legs around his waist, and I finish with my grips. Always have to get my grips when I finish. Hand on the cross collar when we're on bottom. So all the time when I'm on bottom, he's in my closed guard. I go across, and then my other hand controls his lead hand. And we finish here, recovering the closed guard. So those are your techniques for the first part of the week. Make sure you drill those in. If you guys have any questions, you can feel free to contact us.